Uh, all right, story, yes or no?
Yes,
Okay.
always indisputable.
So, I think I'll do Rocky. Have I ever told you the Rocky story? Okay, everybody knows Rocky, right? Everybody knows Sylvester Stallone. Everybody knows the story, right? What most people don't know is his backstory. Now, Sylvester Stallone was born on the steps of a school. At least his mother went into labor. She was walking down the street, went into labor, went to the steps of the school. Some of the students came out. They called an ambulance, but his birth, his delivery was very messed up. It was very problematic. That's why, in Rocky, hey, go Adrian. That's not a pretend accent. That's how he talked. If you've ever seen early pictures of him, he had a mark here on his lip. That was from the forceps that the doctor used in his delivery because there were problems with his delivery. So from a very early age, he had a speech impediment and he had this physical mark. And so you can imagine how kids can be. People would ask Sylvester Stallone growing up, where are you going to be? And he would say, I want to be an actor. And they would laugh at him and they would say, look at the way you look and listen to the way you talk. You'll never be an actor. And he said, oh yeah, I'm going to be an actor one day. So when he graduated high school, he took his dog. He had this dog that he loved. He took this dog and he moved into an apartment and he started going on acting calls. Now, he would never take a full-time job. He did work side jobs and different things and pick up work from here, this place and that place. But he would never take on a full-time job because he wanted to be free to go on acting calls. Well, he didn't get any callbacks. And time went on and time went on. And his first acting gig was Lords of Flatbush. If anybody's seen that old movie, he's in that. Henry Winkler, some guys that went on to stardom. But it was an independent film. It didn't make a lot of money. And Stallone said that they got paid in T-shirts and they got to eat every day on set. Other than that, he didn't get paid. So he's still going on acting calls and things are going on. And winter time comes and he doesn't even have the money to turn his heat on. So he starts hanging out in New York City libraries because they're heated. He would go and he would find a corner, he would hang out. And one day he's sitting there and there's a book in front of him. He's got nothing else to do. And he picks up that book and starts reading. And it's a book of poetry by Robert Frost. He's considered an expert on that type of poetry. A very intelligent guy. And he gets to thinking, I could write something. Thing is, I don't have a story to write. So this goes on, and he's going on acting gigs and calls, and he's not getting any jobs, and he don't have any money, and so he's down to money just to have 2 meals a day. And he's hanging out in the public library because of the heat situation. Finally, he gets to the point where he can't even buy dog food for his dog. And so he does what he has to do. He goes down to the corner liquor store and he holds up a homemade cardboard sign that says dog for sale. Late that afternoon, a guy comes by and says, how much you want for the dog? And he said, $50. The guy said, paying for that. Much for that dog? He said, the kids have been asking me to get a dog. I don't know. He's a good dog. He said, I'll tell you what, I'll take $25. The guy said, okay. And Stallone took that $25. He said he put it in his pocket and walked home. He cried, he said, all the way home. It was shortly after that Muhammad Ali, heavyweight champion of the world, gave a no-name journeyman fighter by the name of Chuck Wepner a shot at the title. Stallone listened to that fight on the radio, and he got an idea. He stayed up all night and wrote the draft for the movie Rocky. And once he had it finalized, written the way he wanted, he started shopping it. And so sometime later, he got a call from some people who said, we want you to come down and we want to buy this from you. We want to talk to you about this. So he goes in, they have the conversation, and they say, we want to buy your movie, and we've got the perfect person to play Rocky. His name is Ryan O'Neal. Now, most of you are too young to know who Ryan O'Neal is, but in the early 70s, he was a big movie star. You cannot think about Ryan O'Neal being Rocky. It just doesn't work in our minds today. But that's what these people said. And Stallone said, no, you don't understand. I'm Rocky. I'm an actor. And they said, look, you're no actor. Look at the way you look. Listen to how you talk. You're no actor. You're, okay, writer, but, So they offered him so much money for the script. And he said, I'll play Rocky or you don't get the script. And they said, get out. Okay? So this dance goes on. He goes back and he goes back and he goes back. And every time they offer him more and more money, and he says the same thing. I'll take it if I play Rocky. And they're like, you're not playing Rocky. This is not going to work. So finally, after several times back and forth, he goes in and they say, look, we don't know why we're doing this, but we want to make this movie. So we're going to give you, they had offered him up to $150,000 for the script. They said, we're going to give you $30,000 for the script. And we'll give you a percentage of the profits of the movie because this movie is not making any money at all. And you can play Rocky. And he strikes the deal with it. Now, he's down to 2 meals a day. He has no heat. And he's got $30,000 in his pocket. What's the first thing that he does? He goes back to that liquor store. And he stands out in front of the liquor store for 3 days, hoping that the guy who bought his dog would come back by. Finally, towards the end of the 3rd day, when the sun's about to go down, the guy walks by, and Stallone says, hey, you remember me? I was here a couple months ago, sold you my dog. He goes, oh, yeah, man, I remember you. Good dog. We like that dog. And he says, well, look, I was on hard times then. I've got money now. I want to buy my dog back. And the guy said, oh, no, we love that dog. He said, look, you gave me $25. I'll give you $100 for the dog. And the guy said, that dog's a part of our family. And Stallone said, I'll give you $500 for the dog. And he goes, oh, my kids would kill me if I got rid of that dog. Stallone said $1,000. And the guy said, look, I don't know how to tell you this. The dog is not for sale. Now, in the credits of Rocky, the first Rocky, Stallone in the credits has Butkus Stallone. You know who Butkus Stallone is? It's the dog. He was named after a football player named Nick Butkus, who was a popular NFL football player during that time. He got his dog back. You know what it cost him? It cost him $15,000. Now, he told this story to Tony Robbins, motivational speaker, and Tony Robbins asked him, why in the world would you pay $15,000 for a dog? And Stallone said, because when you know what you want, what you really want, you'll pay any price to get it. Do you know what you want in life? Not what you think you want, but what you really, really want. Are you willing to pay the price for it? If you really want it, you will. And you know what? The greatest thing is, what we all should really, really want is absolutely free. And that's the message that we have to proclaim to everybody we come in contact with. And I pray that you'll do that the rest of this week and the week that's ahead until we meet again. And as you go about doing that, what are you going to remember? That I love you, that I believe in you, that I am praying for you by name, and I cannot wait to see all that God is going to do for you. God bless you. Have a good night, and we'll see you next time.